Good morning. Well, last week, I guess it was actually Saturday, I was messing around with my YouTube channel and tried to delete a channel that my daughter had on my same account because it kept popping up on this new platform I was trying to do. So I was trying to get rid of it. So I tried deleting just her account. Well, it ended up deleting all of my account. So I lost everything that I had there, so I'm having to restart from nothing. So I didn't know if you'd find me or not. But if you wouldn't mind, would you please subscribe? Yeah, so as you can imagine, I was pretty upset about that, and it was almost to where like you couldn't really get mad because it's just what do you do? Like you can't do anything, right? So it is what it is, and just restart. But Friday was a interesting day in the markets. Pretty good flush, huh? I did not block you, I promise. Awesome, thank you, appreciate it. I also actually started a TikTok account too. I don't know if you're on there or not, but I'm gonna try to just basically put the same videos I do on YouTube on there and try to help grow the YouTube channel through TikTok as well. But anywho, let's see what the market's got going on this morning. Friday we had a pretty good red day. Um, Q's this morning's down $4.69. Closed down $11 on Friday. Oh, you made some good money? That's awesome. So I have a buddy that was playing UVix and did pretty well as well. The VIX has been strong, so that's awesome. Okay, you're all over TikTok. I was wondering if you were because I knew you said you did stuff with what you call it with like affiliate links and stuff like that. So did you have calls on UVix? Nice, good job. 20% is perfect. I'll take that any day. Yeah, I think that it's basically the exact same as the YouTube username. Yeah, so UVix has definitely been a good one to be bullish on. And it looks like it's gapped up this morning, and we're kind of above this level here, like the 955 area. If it gets over that 1065, that clear skies. See what oil's doing this morning. I know earlier it was above 100. It's right around 99.54 right now. So Oxy had a good Friday as well. Let's see what it's got going on this morning. It's got a gap up, currently up $1. It's at 61.77. Closed up almost 2% on Friday. Oxy's still strong. Let's see what the other oil stocks are doing. They're doing the exact same. Exxon's up $1.31. Chevron's up $1.57. See what your cruise lines are doing in regards to oil. Yep. Royal Caribbean's down $3 this morning. It closed down $8 on Friday. By airlines. Delta's down almost 2%. It closed down 2% on Friday. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, Oxy's been a strong one. I mean, I think it's starting to catch people's attention for sure. Let's see, NVIDIA. So it came down to the support I had. Let's see. Okay, yeah, right here. So we're definitely getting a bounce out of here on NVIDIA. The 170 to 171 area. Let's see, we got a bunch of touch points. If we lose that 170, we could come down to like that 164. So we'll see what happens when the market actually opens today. Or if we're going to get a bounce, short-term bounce here. Apple. Looks like it's holding over this 246, 247 level. Gap down this morning, but it's starting to recover some of that gap. But it's still under kind of like the main price action of Friday, so we'll see what happens with Apple today. See any kind of news is supposed to come out this morning, Monday, March 23rd. Chicago Fed index at 8:30. So that's pre-market. That'll be for the market opens. Construction spending month over month. That shouldn't really do too much. 11:30. 3-month bill auction. 6-month bill auction. That won't do anything. It looks like that's it for today. So not too much going on as far as that goes. So I think the biggest things will be any kind of headlines to come out about the war. It's the only thing you gotta be worried about today. So SPY's gap down, down $4 at 644.57. Did you trade Walmart on Friday or last week? 4-hour on Walmart. Oh, did you? I got you. Yeah, the daily chart looks terrible on Walmart, but it is coming down into the support area, so it's probably going to have some sort of bounce right here, which it kind of already has. It could come down to this area, like 117. Got down to like 118, so pretty close. What's the weekly candles look like? It's a pretty big red weekly candle. Oh, really? Yeah. I really don't go to Walmart too much. The closest one to me is kind of out of the way, so we have a Target that's closer, so we end up usually just going to Target instead of Walmart, just because of the location factor. So we'll see if Walmart ends up getting some more consolidation during this week, kind of like we did back here when we had that big flush. Just kind of consolidate before the next leg down, or we might just get another leg down. We'll see how it plays out with Walmart. So Walmart was definitely on a run, but it looks like that's definitely cooling off. We'll see what SMCI is doing this morning, if it's still dumping. That's down a little over 5% this morning. Look at this thing. Wow. It's down to 1937. So if it gets down to that 17 area, it might get a little relief bounce, but I would not touch this thing long, even on bounces, with what they have going on. But if you would have puts on it on Thursday night, you'd have woke up happy. That is for sure. Yeah, that was nuts. That company just I think it's done after all this. Like, that's two big hit pieces on SMCI since they've been kind of last couple of years. So I doubt any big companies, hedge funds or institutions are going to put their money into them. So it'll be interesting to see what it ends up going down to, because it's down 33% on Friday and it's already down another 5.5% this morning. Crazy. AMD is still consolidating in this area. I mean, it doesn't look terrible here. Amazon was down about 1.5% on Friday, just down another percent this morning. We'll see if it makes its way back down to the lows here in the 197 area. ARM actually closed green on Friday. It did go all the way up to around 140, came back down to like 132 on Friday. But it's a miracle it closed green. Not much did. Oh, another one that caught my eye on Friday, but I didn't take any trades on. I was looking at pre-market was CrowdStrike for weakness. Go to the 4 hour. You can see like how this is the 4 hour chart. We had went up, kind of curled over, dumped down, retest, broke it, and then once we got under this level here of that 431 would have been a great entry for puts, which I was even watching that and I didn't take it though. I mean, it dropped almost $20 on Friday. You see how that's pretty big support and resistance line right here, pretty big level. And once we got under it, we just flushed. Small cap bear fund 3 times. I mean, they're great if it's going your direction. These aren't things like you want to hold like long term. Obviously, they are used for like day trades and stuff like that. Because if you hold them too long, like they lose value just because of the type of fund they are. So it's definitely not like a long term hold type thing. But if the market's moving in that direction, like for that day, you can make some pretty good money on them. Like you can see, went up 6% on Friday. Another 4% this morning. So yeah, if it's going your way, like they're definitely great to have. But as soon as they start going against you, it could you need to get out of them. Because I know there was one I used to play for MSTR, and that thing, if you held it, like tried to hold it long term, you got destroyed. MSTU. So 2 times of MSTR. And like look at this daily. Watch this. Which obviously MSTR has gotten destroyed, but if you held this thing through all this, you lost so much money. Like it's just nothing but a downtrend. But there's a bunch of those, like for even for regular stocks. Like I know Palantir has one. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Um, Tesla obviously has some. Nvidia, there's a 2 times on it as well. But there's a bunch of stocks now that have the 2 times and bear or bull funds. So it's something too. Like if you have smaller accounts, like you're able to trade those instead of like the actual stock itself, and because they're generally cheaper, right? Yeah, yeah, for sure. What is Bitcoin at this morning? 68,000. Yeah, so Bitcoin's looking weak as well. If it loses this 68,000 level, we could end up coming all the way back down to 62, 63,000. So I'm sure Hood's down. It is holding this level. Well, it's actually below it right now. Yeah, so if Hood loses like 68.70, you could see a big flush. And I would say probably down to 65, 66. It's about a $3 downside move on Hood potentially if we open up down here. Coin. It's gapping down. It's down $5 this morning. If we open up below this level, we could come down to about 185 will be my target. Apple's been hanging in there really for the way the market's been. It's got a small gap down this morning, but it's not really getting any momentum. Nvidia candle's going green on the 4-hour. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how today plays out with the big flush we had Friday. And they always say markets don't bottom on a Friday, so we'll see what happens. What's the VIX looking like? Okay. So the VIX gapped up back above our trend line that I had. Interesting. So now it'll be interesting to see if we can make a higher high on the VIX. So we can attack basically that 35 area. But now that we've gapped over this trend line, we'll see if I can see us coming down and touching this trend line and then bouncing off now that we've gapped above it. So maybe come back down to around 29 flat. So another 90 cents down, hit the trend line, and then potentially bounce up. But it could just gap and go, right? But that's what I would think would happen. We'll see. But that's interesting. It's gapped above that trend line. That's bullish for the VIX, bearish for the markets. Ooh, APLD. Yeah, that chart doesn't look too good. It's at a pretty big level right now. I mean, if it loses this level, it could come down to like 23, another $2 pretty easily. But it could bounce here. See the daily. Yeah, been holding that for months. You're not doing too good. Mm. When it gets to 40, huh? How long are you gonna be waiting for that? 20. Let's see where 20 is. Yeah, 20 is all the way down here. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, I'd say around like 22 would be a good spot if you're gonna enter. That's the weekly chart. That next level would be like 19. I don't know if I'd touch a bullish position on it just yet though. RSI is curling down, still continuing downside on the weekly chart, so longer time frames look bearish. Meta was down $13 Friday. It's down almost $7 this morning. Meta loses 583, which is another $3 downside. It could get a flush, or it could get a nice bounce. Oh my gosh, that's why you don't go 100% into something like that. Wow, that sucks. Q's went all the way down to 573 this morning. It's another $4 lower than we are right now. So it was down almost $9. I would not doubt us continuing downside today. Yeah, I think if he wants to explain trading to you, he doesn't need to lead off with, I've been holding this stock for months and it's 100% of my portfolio. I gotcha, yeah. So on SPY, we'll see if we come back up to this level here of Friday's low and reject. We're getting close to it now. Basically that 644 area that we're at. So we'll see if we get a rejection here and continue downside, or if we can push back through to regain some of this gap. Looks like oil's getting pushed down back to that $98 level. Like oil, it gets these spikes up past the 98, but it can't hold it. Like you can see, we got up to 101. So we'll see if oil can get a bounce. Pounds here. Gap down. It's down to $1.30. It was down $5, down to 150 on Friday. But it is below that 150 level. I expect eventually to make our way down to 144. Regarding Meta, I was talking Thursday, Friday about Meta coming down to that 600 level, and we obviously blew through that on Friday. This morning we're at 586. Wow. It's always interesting how you see trades that could potentially play out and you don't take them, and then you go back and look and it happens and you didn't take a trade. Oh well, it's part of it. It looks like Q's is starting to get a little bit of rejection here. A lot of wicks and the candle's turning red on the 15 minute. So we'll see. What's the VIX doing? That's the dollar. Dollar's going up. Looks like it's about to break highs this morning. VIX. Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Exactly right. How many times have you said that? I know. It's hard to sit there like to know the exact. You're never going to hit it perfectly, right? I mean, you might here and there, but that's one thing that I've struggled with too is just being okay. Like it hits your target, be happy with what you get out of it, and don't get mad or try to get more out of it, right? Like just that's what they always tell you. Just take what the market gives you. Don't try to get what you want to get out of it, right? And you can't be mad if it keeps going or if it, you know, that's the hardest part because the markets are always moving. So sometimes they can go further than you think. So it looks like Microsoft's kind of doing the same thing the whole market's doing. It's kind of starting to trend up, but it's coming to Friday's low and it's getting rejection candles. You can see the wicks. So we'll see if we end up kind of curling over here. That's what I would probably guess we do. You can see there, and then let's look at Q's. Q's still has some room to go upside before we really bounce or reject. We'll see what happens. SPY is basically right at it, so we'll see if it can push through. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And then I mean honestly in some of these trades that you can make some pretty good money, and if you just think of it in like regular terms of how much money you're making off that short term play, like it's you just gotta be happy with it, right? I mean it takes some people 2 or 3 days to make that kind of money. So and you made it in sometimes an hour, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. So if you think of it that way, it's a little different. Apple's almost green. Boeing down 3% on Friday, down another percent today. I don't really see a trade. I mean, it looks weak, weak obviously. If it loses 192.50, it would take downside. Apple oven down $8. We're back under that 442 level. If we open up below here, I would see us maybe try to close that gap around 442 and take a rejection off that. Google. So Google was down $6 on Friday, down 2%. And this morning it's down $4, another 1.5%. But it came down to this level I had at 296. It looks like kind of rejecting off of it right now. But it is a pretty significant level, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a bounce here, honestly. we're rejecting it though right now, so see how it plays out. VIX still looks like it's wanting to come down. That was a pretty big move on the VIX. So it looks like Friday we rejected that trend line, and then this morning we gapped above it. So $15-minute time frame. So how's the weather in Italy right now? Is it warm there? It was like almost 80 degrees here yesterday. Yeah, SPY's rejecting Friday's low right now. 60-day mid to low 50s. Oh, nice. Okay. 50s a little cool. This sounds really similar to here, honestly, though. 60s. Okay. Yeah, it's starting to, the pollen here is starting to get bad. Um, really like the last week or so, like the cars are just covered in pollen right now. I bet. So CoreWeave was green on Friday, but looks like we're gapping down to this trend line. So we'll see if we reject underneath it. If we do, we could get a big move downside. We're right on that trend line. I would expect a bounce back up, but we'll see. Qs right now we're at a pretty significant level, so I honestly would expect a bounce today, unless we don't, right? But we're coming into some pretty big areas right now, like all this price action right in here. Like 570 would be like, what did we get to? 573. Yeah, anywhere in here I would expect some sort of bounce. We'll see. Yeah, UVIX, I would be a little, like I said, like watching the VIX. I do think we're going to come down to this trend line before we get a bounce back up, but I might be wrong. But that's what I would watch for. These trend lines have been playing out pretty well, but we'll see if we come back down to here and then push up, or if we just flag out here and push up on the VIX. But it looks like it's starting to curl. We'll see. Yeah, Walmart. I've never traded Walmart. I know a lot of people that do. Um, that's the 5 minute chart. Let's look at the 1 hour. It's definitely in a downtrend. But I would just say if you do take any like puts or anything, to be careful right in here because there's a lot of price action right in this area. But if it's weak enough, obviously that doesn't matter. So it could come down to this level, honestly, like 1/7. Well, it's 117. That's only like $1 lower, $2 lower. Yeah, like 117 a Walmart to the downside. Yeah, I would think we get a bounce around 117. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna stay patient this morning with the big flush we had Friday, and then we're at some pretty key levels on the market. So we'll see if we bounce, or if we do get a flush from here, it's really going to be a violent one, in my opinion. But we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. So definitely staying kind of patient this morning. Yeah, it looks like we're rejecting yesterday's or Friday's low on the Qs. All right, well, I gotta get going. I'm glad you're able to find me. That I didn't block you, so I'll be back on here tomorrow as long as this channel doesn't get deleted by accident. But appreciate you watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.